say yes. I need you to do more and say less. I won't just say yes. I need you to do more and say less. I thought you knew that anybody can do that.
Elon Musk was interviewed by Don Lemon. Yesterday, I made some comments about Don Lemon's background as a non-journalist, which I still hold true to because he's not. That said, what I witnessed, because the full interview with Elon Musk doesn't come out until March 18th, but he was on CNN last night, and he gave us a little hint into the interview, and it looked like he asked some good questions. I have questions as well, but I'm going to play some of what he shared with Aaron Burnett last night, and it is kind of revealing about Elon Musk, and I'm not quite sure what we do about it because he's a free billionaire. But play that clip, Smiz.
This is a part of the conversation with Musk where you ask him about hate speech. Here it is.
Hate speech on the platform is up. Do you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform? That you wouldn't have to answer these questions from reporters about the Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Democrats?
I don't have to answer these questions.
The Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Jewish people. Do you think that?
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think? Do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
I think he cares.
I think he definitely cares.
He doesn't. I don't have to answer questions. I don't have to. And then sends Don Lemon an email that you're fired.
He says all the time, free speech is about hearing speech or, allowing speech that you don't agree with. It's so weird that he's such a snowflake, yet talks like he's not. He espouses all of these anti-snowflake, but he's the most sensitive, emotional person I've ever seen have a position at that level. You don't see Tim Cook reacting this way to anybody. You don't see the chief executive officer of any Fortune 500 company reacting to things like this. It's just him, really. And a couple of his cronies that kind of are around him that get all emotional. Like these tech guys are really, they think they can solve everything because they were able to be successful in a world when it was expansionary economy was happening. Interest rates were nearly zero. The tech boom was happening. They had every wind, like every trailwind, everything was good, wind at their sails. And now they think they are God's gift to everything.
866-801-8255. I will put out the number. I also want to say it looks like Don Lemon did a really good interview. So yeah. I'm always going to give credit where it's due. I was really railing not against Don Lemon, but a culture that puts people in positions and then has the public believing that they have the skills that they don't, when they may have 10 writers and a teleprompter. And that, to me, is not the skill of a journalist. But again, I'm a journalist, by trade. So by training, not by trade, because I'm not a journalist on these airwaves. These are my opinions, which is a difference, by the way. But I'm very skilled at asking questions and not asking questions, because sometimes it's the unasked question that is the most poignant sometimes, But I'm so I was railing against him on that yesterday. And it wasn't about Don Lemon because, who's going to turn down, the position? And really, you can get into your own head that you're a journalist because you are asking questions. But that journalism is so much deeper than that and requires so much more. And somebody said, well, you just only respect people that went to journalism school. Actually, it's just the opposite. Journalism school does not really teach you how to be a journalist. So let me just say that is done in the field over time. It is a skill that requires a lot more. You can't learn it in the classroom, which is why it was ironic. I was teaching journalism for 20 plus years, but not really. The kind of skills I was teaching was critical thinking, when to, again, like propaganda, how to determine propaganda from not. Also, I was training, hopefully training my students to spot biases in themselves, because they say you have to be objective, but nobody can be objective because you are bringing yourself to every story. So I ask them to lean into bringing themselves to every story. Find yourself in every story, and then find a way to tell a larger story within the story, which is what I try to do here every day. I'm never really targeting one individual because who cares about a person per se? I'm trying to beat these institutions that have got us in a stranglehold around what is and isn't, and it's literally killing us. And I can't say it enough. We don't have enough critical thinking, truth spotting to get to the next place to even elect good people, because we're inundated every day with so many misinformation campaigns, and it's hard. And I do think cable news has been complicit. Cable news has been wildly complicit because there's too much money and misinformation in the clickbait that is out there. It's just too much money for them to turn it down. So it's disheartening. But this interview looks like it was good. I don't know whether I'm going to watch it because there's a part of me, Cena, as a person that uncovers fraud, that feels like maybe there's a backdoor, discussion. Okay, we're going to do this. Then you get off the X platform, blow up your YouTube channel. And, I don't know. I don't want to participate in any of the shenanigans, but I might have to watch it just to be able to have a conversation about it. But go ahead.
So I want to distinguish a little bit how Don Lemon approached starting his platform versus Mehdi Hassan from MSNBC when he left. He went straight to a subscription service, I think through Substack, and he's going to do his thing. He used social media to announce it, made a quick video, I believe, and then huge response. He had so many people subscribe to his show and to his newsletter. Now, I can see how Don Lemon saw the distribution channel and the marketing help and all of these other things and said, I don't want to go from CNN's best time slot to asking people to subscribe to my newsletter. I need to have a stage. I need to have the distribution support, or at least close to what I had before. He's used to having the backing. It's technically harder to start from scratch, which is what Mehdi Hassan actually did. And it worked out for him. I think Don Lemon could have done it. I don't know. I think it's just difficult. And then maybe he's just a little scared or insecure from like starting something on his own like that, because that's really takes a lot of backbone, and it's very tough to start from scratch. And like you said, he's been reading a teleprompter. He hasn't been doing necessarily like the on the ground journalism work that Mehdi Hassan has been doing for years. I think that is a big distinguishing factor. It's like you're used to living a certain lifestyle within your job and you didn't really want to change. And the opportunity came to have Elon Musk walk you in to a big room filled with people that would be paying attention to you. And here's what happens. Now you got to deal with Elon Musk. And I like the way he responded to him. I watched the CNN interview that he did last night as well. And I think his questions were good with Elon Musk, and how he was approaching it was good. So I think he could have done it on his own. I don't think he needed Dex.
Well, 866-801-8255. I struggle. Is it more important that we have these kind of interviews? Because if that was the deal, like Don Lemon said on CNN last night, he took the deal and the stipulation was I get to interview you. Right.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk took the interview. So again, I'm not skeptical, but I'm a little bit like, there's a lot of theater in this, whether it's smoking weed on Joe Rogan, it's like, or being on stage dancing, looking like a stand-up frog in front of your jet, there's a lot of theater with Elon Musk, because I think what he wants to be more than anything is a celebrity.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, I never see Bernard Arnault out there in them streets, and he's the richest man in the world. Most, from market to market, depending on the stock market, right? He's in the top 3 richest men in the world, and we rarely see him, right?
But I just want to challenge the celebrity line. It's a different kind of celebrity. It's not fame. It's adulation, right? It's he wants to be an idol. He wants to be like the Messiah. It's that kind of a fame. It's that kind of a celebrity. It's not the Kim K, Kanye. It's like, I am the solver of the world's problems. That's a different level of ego and a different level of fame. And want for people's attention that I think is very distinguishing from other people that are in business and other artists and other people that are celebrities.
Is it much different than Donald Trump's desire?
I won't just say yes. Need you to do more and say less. I won't just say yes.